I think what's interesting about this is not so much that, China is very defensive about Taiwan. We knew that. Or that the United States is very defensive about Iran. We knew that. As far as I can tell, this is the first time that China's actually used the U.S.'s actions with Taiwan against the United States in Iran. Is everybody following this?
Absolutely. So to really break it down, they're taking this entire war, this entire tit-for-tat battle into a whole new plane. Previously, the tit-for-tat was merely just a tariff, and that was relatively harmless.
Right.
Now, this is a true tit-for-tat, and I mean that in the old school way, where it encompasses psychology, predictive behavior, and economic theory. So they're taking this into a world stage, and it's really interesting to see this play out. So what the U.S. did, U.S. instigated this months ago when they decided to sell arms to Taiwan.
$2.2 billion
worth of tanks and air defense systems.
Arms.
Exactly. And so by doing that, they're actually acknowledging Taiwan as their own entity, which needs their own defense system, which entirely undermines China's theory of a one China policy. It undermines that entire principle, and it undermines China's sovereignty and as well as their security interests as well. And this is defense. We're talking defense. So this is like plain old security interests that they're undermining.
How have you followed China, obviously, and from a certainly both geopolitical and economic standpoint? They sound, for the first time since I've followed these stories, legitimately pissed off, angry.
They do, exactly. So this is a huge step. What U.S. is doing is they're undermining China's authority over Taiwan, China's sovereign interest in Taiwan. So you know what? Right now, when the U.S. is trying to sanction Iran and drive their oil exports down to zero, that was their goal, China's like, okay, you know what? If you undermine us, we're going to undermine your authority in the Middle East. We're going to still export oil out of Iran, and as you know what, our neighbors India will probably do the same as well, because you know what, it's a logical economic decision. You didn't have to sell your missiles; that was for profit. We're making a sound and logical economic decision to buy cheap oil from Iran because we want to. And if it undermines you, okay.
That's fascinating, the way you brought this back to economics, because the United States is saying, look, we have a fiduciary responsibility to our citizens to be able to make as much money on our weapons sales, and who are you to tell us not? And China's saying, we have a fiduciary responsibility to our citizens to do business with Iran.
Exactly. This is classic game theory playing out on the world stage, which makes it so interesting. So today, when the Taiwanese president, Jiang Ing-wen, is visiting today, this is a huge slap in the face to China right now, because Trump and the entire U.S. administration is acknowledging them as an entity which can host state-to-state matters.
Yeah, they're angry about this. I mean, I've been reading the comments going back and forth all day, and they're saying, why are you meeting with them? You shouldn't be meeting with them.
Exactly.
So you haven't heard that we're the ones covering the stories that you won't see covered anywhere else? In Venezuela, Kazakhstan, let's go to Hong Kong. And the media reaction to that has been crickets. How about the way we cover those stories? What the hell does that mean? Huawei, Huawei, Huawei. That's the key word in this case, uprising. Keep? Can you believe that? Watching. This is the right thing for members of the media to do, to actually pick sides. Look, if you like what you see, subscribe.